Hi, Patrick. Good.
You're not going to use the written mic? No, probably not.
안녕하세요. 디스커버마린 배반장입니다. 오늘은 우리가 정말 소중한 특별한 게스트 와 있습니다. 프랑스에서 발리카타마란에 헤드쿼터 오신 부장님입니다. 반갑습니다. Hello, nice to meet you.
Hi.
Welcome to Korea. So Benjamin, could I just ask you what brings you to Korea?
Of course, meet the best dealer we have here in the area. You, Patrick, and I, you in particular.
Okay, thank you. So actually, Benjamin is quite special. He's been in the catamaran market for around 7 years, and I'd like to just today. Usually at Discover Marine, we have yacht talks. We have a crew that gets together and speaks a bit about the yacht industry, but today it's just me and you, and I'd like to ask you a little bit about your opinion as an expert in the European market, and especially an expert in catamarans. Actually, I'm curious in your opinion, and I'm sure our viewers are curious too. You are an expert in the catamaran field, multi-hull, and so I know that you might have a little bias towards multi-hull, but in your opinion, your personal opinion, do you prefer monohull or multi-hull while sailing?
You know, I don't
sailing?
have such of a bias because before working in the sailing industry, I used to have a boat myself, a monohull. So I know
monohull.
So it's, I mean, for me, I believe catamaran is easier to handle.
Catamaran's easier to handle, yeah.
It's like, you know, when you buy a car, you think the bigger is the more complex, but not really. It's just a matter of getting used to it. Catamarans have a lot of benefit compared to monohull, especially for non-experienced sailors. The biggest, well, not issue, but what you have to face when you're using a monohull is the boat is heeling.
Heeling.
So heeling, it means the boat is moving to the side when you're going upwind. Or it can move like this when you're going downwind. Good thing of a catamaran is that it remains flat at all times. So people that are subject to seasickness or are uncomfortable at sea would feel much better on the catamaran.
Another question that oftentimes we get from Discover Marine, a lot of times I get inquiries, especially I get used boat inquiries as well, and oftentimes customers that want to own a boat for like private ownership, not for business, they ask me, you know, the age-old question, sailing or power. Do they think they would be a better fit on a sailing boat or on a power boat?
I mean, of course, sailing boat needs a little bit more skills to handle than a power boat. But the main benefit, I would say, of sailing versus powering is when you're sailing, the moment you're out of the harbor and you turn off the engines, you're just having a smooth sail without any noise. When you're on a power boat, it's always noisy and you're not really relaxing before you have actually arrived to your destination. The engine stops and you can have a good time.
Yeah, I've never actually thought about it that way, and I think that it's most popular among businesses. Actually, every Bali that's owned in Korea is owned by a business. Is that similar in Europe, or is it similar in France, or is it slightly different? What is your average customer in France?
I think it's the market is a bit different. Also because the sailing culture is different. Sailing is a very popular hobby. So it's very typical for an owner to have a boat in a marina and to go sailing around during the weekend or during holidays. This is something that's extremely common. For Bali, I think most of the market in its earlier days were charter companies because, as I said just before, Bali offers the maximum volume inside the boat, so it really suits the charter requirements. Solid cockpit in the front. It's very enjoyable, especially when there's a little bit of wind, because you can feel the wind. So it's more and more popular. But I think in COVID also changed a little bit the way the boats are used. Before COVID, maybe 60 to 70% of the boats were used for charter purposes, and since COVID, it's changed. The ratio has changed towards the opposite. More and more people now want to enjoy life more. They want to have free time at sea, just to enjoy life, you know. And the Bali is a perfect boat for that. So today the ratio is more towards 60-70% owners, private owners.
How come we're 95% charter owned? It seems like there's a market here in Korea too for privately owned catamarans as well.
Absolutely.
I'm curious, do you have any opinion on which direction that the yachting industry will be going as far as what I've seen in the past 5 years? The trampoline for the bow section of the catamaran was really the only answer. And then Bali came out with the closed foredeck, and then we start to see many other companies are starting to put like little cushions, and then the little cushion turned into a sunbed. So I think that might be one of the trends. Touch upon about future trends or what we could expect in the yachting industry.
I think you're right. One of the trends is of course the solid cockpit in the front.
Yeah,
it brings so many benefits. At the very beginning, we were seen as it was a bit awkward,
taboo.
Yeah, a bit taboo. People said this is not a boat, doesn't have a trampoline. Another thing that I see as a trend is especially in today's context is sustainability. For instance, it's small steps. It's not never drastic changes, but step by step we're getting there. For instance, we are developing a new treatment system of treatment of the black and grey waters, just to make sure that we have. It's a system that works with bacteria, so they will eat everything before it's released into the water. This is a good way of keeping the ocean clean of all the black waters. Also, of course, solar panels are getting better and better, and we can fit more powerful solar panels every time on the boats. So I think this is a very important trend.
So do you see more companies using solar power as an option? How about for propulsion? I know Silent Yachts has got their solar and fully electronic propulsion. Do you think this will also be a trend among other catamaran manufacturers? Or
I think so, but not in the very near future because of the limitation of the production of solar panels.
What do the sales numbers look like? And I know it's not only Bali. I know the French top 3, including Bali. The French top 3 would be like Bantabajo, Lagoon, and Bali. Not in that order, but top 3 anyways. I know that the sales have been going kind of through the roof. In Korea, we've got customers that want boats, but can't get them until around 2 years later. So I'm curious about the numbers. For example, is there a big increase or is there a big difference between the number of boats sold like last year and this year?
Actually, yes. I think we've since Bali's been existing, we've had a constant 30% growth in terms of production capacity. Is skyrocketing in the market. Everybody looked at us at the very beginning like, oh, what is this? And then everybody wants it. It's very, very popular. This year will be close to 400, and the following year we plan on doing 600.
We're talking about huge jumps in demand. So how is the shipyard handling this kind of demand? I mean, do you have to expand production, or do you have to?
Absolutely. Yeah. So there's increases in manpower. There's increases in the facility size and the efficiency of the productivity, in tooling as well, just to keep on track and increasing the production. It gives quite a lot of challenges, but we're trying to face them step by step.
Yeah, actually, just last week we imported the Cat Space. It's a beautiful boat. I think that kind of shows us a little bit of Bali's future direction. What do you think about the Cat Space among the lineup?
Yeah. Cat Space is a very important model for Bali because it's one of the entry models that we have. It's the only 40-footer in its category with a flybridge, for instance.
Right.
Bali catamarans are very special in a way that they are. I mean, if you look at the competition, no other boat can offer the same amount of space in this size of a boat.
As far as space, usage of space.
Space is very important.
Okay, and then also I have one more question. Are there any upcoming models or anything?
I can't talk about the boats coming in the next year or so, but I can tell you about the boats that are coming in the next month.
Next month.
So we have the Cat Smart. Cat Smart is a 38-feet catamaran. Main target is owners. Many smart features. So of course, as the rest of the range, you have the Bali door. The Bali. And it has common features as on the Bali at the rest of the range. The idea behind this boat was to be able to offer it in a 2-cabin version. So 2 owners help with their own private bathroom in each hull. And we've changed a little bit the position of the helm station. Since on the 38-footer we couldn't make a fly from the fly bridge.
So this will be the first Bali that doesn't have a bridge helm.
Absolutely.
Oh, okay.
You can't have it all in a 38-footer. At some point you need to make
up towards the stern side of the boat, in front of the sugar scoop, if you will.
Yes.
There's a on both sides.
On both sides. So you have two helm stations.
That's pretty cool. It's like a monohull equipped catamaran. Yeah, that sounds great. Hopefully we'll get one in Korea as well. In Korea we've got everything from the 4.0 to the 4.5 and everything in between, including the new cat space we've got here. So we'll have to get a cat smart next. Are there any other cat somethings coming in the future? Cat something?
Otherwise I have to kill you, Patrick.
Oh my god. 기대합니다. 정말 기대합니다. Maybe a final word for our viewers.
Yeah, I encourage you, if you think about purchasing a boat, come and see Patrick. It's very good help.
Okay. Thank you, Benjamin, and thank you for your time today. Hope you enjoy your stay in Korea, and we hope to welcome you back as much as often.
Sure.
Alright, thank you. Yeah. 자, 디스커버마린
구독, 좋아요
눌러주세요. 감사합니다. 다음에 뵙겠습니다.